Stage 1, pressing for flight. Launch reactor on countdown 1. We are go for launch.
Yes, sir. Reading you loud and clear. Clear. The clock has started.
The clock has started.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
And welcome to Pressing for Flight, live from the Space Coast, where magically coronavirus is not making the schedule slip.
Yet.
I am your host, Stephen Marr, and with me tonight we have Mr. Stephen Keagle.
Danger.
We have
That's the situation.
Matt Cutshaw.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Steer clear, he does work at CVS. And Becca Penland.
I was trying to get my. Hold on.
You already got a question?
Oh, there's a
No.
question already?
That's just my introduction.
The question is, who is this other guy? That is fellow photographer and friend Michael Cain. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man?
Oh man,
Glad
not
to be
much.
here.
Yes, we're all dealing, the best way we can. Got our hand sanitizer. Trying to stay clean. Man, it's good to have you on. We've known each other a little while. We're not super close, about as close as any of us photographers are. We get to hang out whenever there's a launch. I've always loved your photography. So
Appreciate it, man.
I really liked your shot from yesterday morning, man. This one of you were at such a good angle. Where were you? Let's see.
I was actually on top of the Max River Bridge. It's my first time there.
It's a great place.
Yeah, man. I'll show you guys. Right here. This is a beautiful shot.
One,
Like you get the silhouette of Falcon 9,
Oh.
and then right as it's going transonic, right? Is that the right way to put it? That's right when it's going transonic, right? Is when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it basically broke the sound barrier.
Right. Yeah, dude, that is just so cool.
Wonderful.
Yeah. It's
Every time I try to get those, I lose focus.
oh really?
I have a horrible time getting a nice clear shot. Not clear enough that I
That's happy.
want to post.
Is it that is it out of focus, or is it that it's got a little bit of blur from like shaking and being
Yo.
zoomed in so far?
Yeah, maybe my shutter speed. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out one day.
Put it on manual focus too.
Well, that's a trick. Once you've got focus, if you're not going to be messing with your zoom too much, you've got focus, get it locked in, and you just quickly switch the switch on your lens back to manual, and then it won't change. Because whenever it's going up into that, it's starting to do the cone thing. Sometimes cameras have a hard time focusing because that cloud is blurry. Like actually, when I first saw my shots of that same part, I was like, oh man, this is so out of focus. But then I zoomed in on it. I was like, oh no, the rocket itself is in focus. But yeah, it was really cool. How long have you been shooting launches?
Good question. It's about 3 years.
Okay, yeah.
Just over 3 years. Actually, the next launch will be my 40th launch.
Oh, okay. Keeping track. Man, I wish I was keeping
Cool.
track.
It's my 40th launch that I've photographed. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to save it for the show. The one behind you. I was there when you got that shot, and I was there for the devastation and then the relief of because when we went and picked up our cameras, and everybody's like, "Oh, did I get it?" And especially your first time, right? Like you're just so nervous. You want so badly to get something good, and boy, did you ever! Right. But it was like you thought you didn't get anything.
Right. I quickly look at the playback, and I didn't see any similar, any shot looking like a launch. I just saw a bunch of black images. So I was really disappointed. I was like, okay, it didn't work out. But I was happy my other camera at least got some shots. So I was like, okay, well, the one I really want didn't come through. But I was like, well, let me just grab that memory card and pop it into my memory card reader and kind of look at it on my phone just to see
Yeah, that's right. It was like a few minutes, like 5-10 minutes went by, and you were just, I was sitting right next to you, and you were just so sad. And I'm kind of like, I'm elated because I found mine in my camera. You know, I was like, oh, I got it. And you're just like, oh, man.
Yeah, it's tough, man. You know, it's your first time. You're a little anxious, nervous. You know, you have an idea of what to do, but you don't. You know, you don't have. You know, I've been shooting launches off base for so long, but it's another beast when you're setting up remote cameras. There's just so many things you got to take in consideration, and then you know, I made myself a little checklist just to try to make sure I don't forget any little detail because it takes one thing to get it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have a good example of that when for Delta 4 medium, I lined up my engine shot. You know, I went like kind of most of the way up the rocket because Delta 4 has those like 3 or 4 I don't know what you call them, the arms that reach out and have like the umbilicals, I guess the umbilical arms or something. It's got like 3 or 4 of those, and I wanted to have those in the shot, but also have the flames, you know, coming out of the engines.
Right.
And so I lined it up, but of course, you know, if you have your settings like underexposed to catch the bright flame, you can't see it to line it up. So I rolled my shutter speed up to something where I could actually see it on the screen, and forgot to roll it back to the underexposed settings. And so when I went and got my camera, it's just a really bright. I mean, it ended up making like a cool GIF because you could see, you know, the launch. I took all those shots and made it into a GIF.
I remember you made it a GIF. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but that was devastating because it was the last launch of that rocket.
Yeah, so I've only done 2 remote camera setups. So the first one was we talked about. My second one was a Delta 4, it was a Delta 2. Actually, I had to look back at my records. But anyway, I did kind of the same thing. I framed it up. I wanted to get the engine shot, and like a cloud of smoke literally covered pretty much the whole engine in my frame. And then my other camera, the mishaps trigger battery died. So it didn't really turn out that great.
And that wasn't that an issue that a lot of people were having with the mishaps, like with the last update, I guess, that people's batteries were draining? Because I know that Keagle, was it yours, Matt? Did you
No,
borrow? Yeah, you borrowed
Yeah,
Keagle's and it
Keagle's,
died,
yeah.
and I was like, man, did he charge it? And he said that it was fully charged, but it died. And then I heard after the fact that there was an update in there that was causing people's myopses to die.
Yeah, see, I heard about this update, but this was actually a while back. So I don't know if there was another instance where one of the versions was causing battery drains. But what happened in this second launch is, you know, once you cover your camera, you know, to prevent water and stuff like that, it's hard to go in there and double check your settings and everything. So I actually enabled the Bluetooth on the mishaps trigger, just so I can have that remote access. And I'm thinking that's what killed it. And another thing about the mishaps trigger that I noticed is that, you know how you drive in your car, you got a full tank, and the next thing you know, as soon as it gets past that half tank, before you know it, it's already at empty.
Yeah.
The thing about the mishaps trigger battery is like it almost looks like it's charged all the time, and then before you know it, it just dies.
Right. Yeah.
It's just a terrible status of how, you know, the battery life.
It is. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And a lot of times, well, actually, every time when you start it up, it shows no bar in the battery. It's just nothing there, and you're like, oh no, and then it fills up. It just goes bing, and it's just there.
Yeah. So it was, I guess, my fault because I saw the full charge battery and I was like, okay, I don't need to charge it. It's full charge. I mean, I've already done a launch with it. I never even charged it since then. It's still full charge. I mean, I'm good to go.
Yeah, it must be fine. Yeah.
Or I should have charged it anyway just to be safe. So with the combination of turning on the Bluetooth, battery was dead. No shots.
Yeah.
You learn.
Yeah, I was when you started talking about that, I was like, oh, do you have one on here? And then you said, oh, it got covered with smoke. That's one of the hardest parts about remotes sometimes. Like, you don't know exactly where the smoke goes. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is going to be a great shot, and the smoke might just get... I mean, obviously, you know to stay away from the flame trench, but, you know, as the rocket rises, it just kind of spreads all around. I mean, you know, you see it from a distance, and it fills the whole area.
I mean, I'm guessing, most of the rockets are going to do very similar things. Falcon 9 probably does a lot of the similar ways, how the launch happens. So I'm sure if you saw a video up close of that particular rocket from that perspective, then you may get an idea where the smoke's going to go.
Right.
And I'm sure that'll help. But I mean, that takes a lot of remote camera setups, a lot of research and studying just to kind of understand each rocket, each pad, each perspective.
Yeah. So this week was the 6th Starlink. One of the interesting bits about it, and this is nobody got a picture of this because it was way too high up, but and there it was. I'm gonna back this up and then show you guys. I know probably most of y'all have seen it already, but
yeah,
where they lost an engine. Becca, have you seen this yet?
I have not seen it. No.
Check this out. This is what an engine failing looks like, right? Bam. You see that? It might look a little choppy because I'm sharing an already somewhat grainy video.
Was it a flash?
Yeah, it's right here. Bam. It's like a smoke ring kind of shoots out.
I saw it.
They still made it to orbit, of course. And then Elon tweeted. I tried to find the actual tweet where he said that they were going to do a full investigation and everything. I looked in his replies and I couldn't find it anywhere, but he said that yeah, one of the Merlins died on him, and we're all kind of speculating, and I want to emphasize this is the speculation zone. While we do have media access, like when we're here, we're just kind of speculating. But was it the one that gave him problems Sunday morning? Right, it was Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah,
the one that caused
family anomaly.
Yeah, the one that caused the abort, like literally within the last second, like they fired up the engines and then it shut itself down. We don't know. I don't think we will know.
It makes you wonder if the scrub or the pushback they had on Sunday was related to that same particular engine.
Right. That's kind of what I'm wondering. And I'm wondering if that was one of the engines involved in the Reentry Burn.
Yeah. You look. I see you have my page up, and you see that photo on the bottom left there. The apply Linda Beach.
Yeah.
That's where they did the
Oh, this was the abort.
That's the smoke of the abort, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, and we actually heard a loud noise. I'm sure you heard it too, but you can see the nose cone of the rocket barely sticking out there.
Oh, yeah, right here. Okay. Yeah. Man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's like a age thing, 5 flights is just too much for that poor little engine. I mean, this is uncharted territory. They've never flown them this many times. And even when they first started getting into reusing them, and I know they were going back to McGregor with them and doing full test fires, like full duration test fires with some of them, but I don't think they were doing a bunch, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think any of them have seen this much firing, right?
Yeah. So what is the count? Some people say a booster can be reused 10 times, and other people say 100 times. So what is it?
I think Elon said that they want to be able to use it 10 times with almost no refurbishment, and then 100 times with the periodic refurbishment. I think. I mean, they'll get there. This is really kind of a weird time, because like they've failed now 2 landings in a row.
Right.
Sorry, my chair just drops down constantly. You spend $100 on a chair, you think it's gonna be good for a while, and no, the hydraulic thing just keeps dropping down. Yeah, so we don't know. We can speculate, but we just don't know. But we do know that we have 360 Starlink satellites up now, and I think they've said that after 12 launches, they should start to see operations. Operational operations. There's your show title.
I was already writing it.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess since we're. Oh well. Hey, I was gonna show some of my shots too. I want to show some of my shots. The only one I got was the only remote one I got was this one here.
Yes, I saw that one.
Yeah.
I like how you got behind the brush on that.
Well, you know what had happened was actually, you know what? I might just be able to show you if I see. No, it's not here. Actually, I never made it as a gift. But okay, so when we were doing remote setup the first go around, you know, I was just taking shots, you know, and I did shoot between these two trees and of it just sitting on the pad. And so whenever I was editing it later, I was like, man, I really like that. I wonder if I could get another or get one where it's actually rising. So I didn't put that one out. You know, I just sat on that and I was like, well, maybe for the next go round I'll change my location, because I was at, well, most of the listeners don't know where we're set up anyway, but I was at one particular setup spot, and then I was like, I'm gonna move my camera over to the other setup spot and go between these trees, and it turned out pretty good. It was so funny, man, when I showed it to Adam. He's like, man, it's a minefield of shrubbery right there. But yeah, it's another shot. This little bird, and this one's almost identical to Keagle's shot, which Keagle's disappeared. But he put his out the other day. So I knew he was going to, so I just sat on mine. But this is
how did all three of us get the same?
Oh yeah, you got this shot on the
bird
first
is
day,
back.
right?
Yeah,
I like it because of the fog.
Same bird.
Oh, cool.
Same bird. He's like, I'm gonna post for all three, y'all.
Same exact bird. I'm not sharing my screen. Becca, are you watching the stream? I don't know.
I am.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and then my liftoff shot. I mean, I really like my liftoff shot. It's just I know that everybody has this shot, you know.
It looks like mine. Mine was a little tighter.
Right, yeah. And mine would have been too if I'd have cropped it a little further, you know. But yeah, it was a beautiful launch, and man, being there at that press site, you know, who was it? I was talking to somebody, John Gallant, I think, and he's asking if I was going to the press site. I told him it was my first time. He's like, man, that's hollowed ground. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, and he pointed out to me that I guess that press site it still holds the record for the largest gathering of press people, of media people ever.
Like the Apollo times?
Yeah, for Apollo 11. So
Can we talk about the press site for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
So why? I know they did some like remodeling. They, removed some of the bushes and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what's up with the ITO Causeway?
What do you mean?
Oh
yeah, we haven't. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I've watched a launch from there.
Yeah.
Keagle,
maybe NASA missions wouldn't let you do that. Not SpaceX. Maybe SpaceX just.
Is it just
hang out in the old 39A?
Is it just like too close to 40? Because the last few times, like when you were doing the internet out there at the press site, that was NASA Causeway we were at, right? Or was that ITO?
Titan. No, Titan 3 Road.
Yeah, that was ITL.
Oh, that was ITO.
Yeah, that's ITL.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there you go. So yeah, we have. Yeah. I thought there's one Causeway that's a little bit closer. I don't know.
Yeah, NASA Causeway, where they used to go, from what I understand, they closed that down. I don't know why. I heard something about chemicals or something. They were doing some remodeling or something. I don't know. But I heard that it was closed down. It's going to be closed down for a while. I've even heard from one person said that it's permanently closed down, and that press is only going to be allowed to watch launches from the press site at Kennedy now.
Oh, not even NASA Causeway?
No, NASA Causeway shut down. I don't know why.
Oh, it might be no. Oh, no. I was going to say maybe because of the path that New Glenn's going to take, but it's not taking.
No. because ITL is fine. You can go to the ITL, but NASA Causeway, where press used to go.
Well,
they
these other ones
shit
are
it
closer to most of the launches anyway,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's closer to 40. Yeah, so
Yeah.
ITL is the lower one of the two that are like right next to each other. Has anybody ever watched from the northern one, whatever road that is?
Yeah.
What?
Parker Solar
Yeah,
Probe from there.
Oh, really?
ULA guy did.
Yeah.
I never did.
Yeah, it was freaking incredible watching Parker from that distance.
Dude, yeah.
Hey, you're right there. That was loud.
Wow.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to that one.
Oh, really? You were in the NASA social?
I was.
And?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but I didn't want to shoot from that one. You remember we were in a VAB together.
No, not for the Parker Solar Probe.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm talking about Solar Orbiter. My bad.
No, I'm talking about Parker Solar Probe. The big
Yeah,
one that Delta Heavy.
I missed that launch, man. Still bummed about that.
Let's see. What else? Oh, yeah. Okay. So before we started, Michael started going on about how he has access to Universal and some photo ideas. But he didn't. Well, I don't know. Somebody said maybe he shouldn't give it away, but he's like the only photographer that has this kind of access, right? So what do you want to do?
Say all that.
What do you want to?
I mean, because I'm an employee there, I was able to go out into the park late at night, and my intent was, I don't want to jeopardize my job or anything, so I just went in there during the day, like everyone else, took my camera gear, and I did some like hyperlapses.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also wanted to take some shots of, of the park and whatnot. But one of the shots I wanted to get was in Diagon Alley, if anyone knows that area, is I wanted to get a shot with nobody in it, which was next to impossible. So I tried doing some long exposure shots, and if people are moving, they kind of disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured maybe I'll take a couple shots and I can blend it together and eventually do it all.
I've heard that there is like a method, like I don't know how simple, but I watched a video once of how to take a busy city street and take a series of photos and stack them in such a way that will remove the people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fun. It's obviously 10 times easier just to get the shot with nobody in it.
Right.
But eventually the park closed, and security does a sweep from the back end of the park, and they start pushing everyone out, saying, "Hey, we're closed."
Mm-hmm.
So as they approach me, obviously no one else is behind them because they've already closed off that area.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Hey, I've already got my camera gear set up. Just give me 10 seconds to take the shot." And they said, "Sure, no problem." So I took the shot, and then I said, "Hey, does it matter if I work here?" He's like, "Well, let me show me your badge." So I went ahead and showed him my employee badge, and he's all like, "Oh, well, you can stay as long as you want."
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Okay, cool, great, awesome." So I mean, it wasn't my intent to go in there.
Disney, when I worked there, they'd be like, "You're out of here, buddy."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, as an employee, it's one thing, you know what I mean, but.
I was working. I was an employee then, and they don't let you wander around free. If you're not working, you're not wandering.
You know what's funny is I got a picture about a week ago in Diagon Alley, and Steve-O was looking at it, and he said it would be better if there was no people in it.
It's a theme park. It's almost impossible.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
So sweet.
If you could get somebody to go and fire up that dragon while you're there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Talk about special access.
Yeah.
There's actually a hidden room in Diagon Alley that is forgive me, I'm not a Harry Potter fan.
Me neither.
But J.K. Rowling, it's like a hidden room for J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter.
Really?
No, what?
She got like a Walt apartment?
It's an apartment. It really is. It has its own bathroom. It has TVs, couches, everything like that. But it also has like a conference area, and you can go in there. We had team meetings in there and all sorts of stuff. But it's badass. It's literally in Diagon Alley.
What?
Do you have any idea if she ever uses it?
I think when they did the opening of the park, then she was kind of in there, just kind of waiting.
Mm-hmm.
A waiting spot. So getting bombarded by fans and whatnot. So she had some privacy, some quietness, and then she came out, and then when they did the celebration and the grand opening.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they actually have signs like "No photography allowed" when you get in there.
Because it's someone's home.
I wonder if Jimmy Buffett has one of those rooms in his Margaritaville.
I don't think he'd step foot in those hellholes.
No, he's performed there.
Oh man, they don't want you there, and I don't want to be there.
The last I heard, he sold everything. Like he's not even involved with Margaritaville anymore.
His name's on the sign, but that's about it.
He's probably still getting some royalty checks though.
Yeah, there's probably some kind of deal that goes on, but yeah, well. Yeah, we went there. Me and Becca and my roommate Brad, we all went to Key West last year. No, year before last. Oh, when was that?
Year before. It was a year and a half ago.
I always get hung up on. Wait, am I telling the exact date? But yeah, we went to Key West and we're like, well, we got to go to Margaritaville. So we went to. Apparently, there's 2 locations in Key West, and we went to the wrong one. But we went to the one on Duval Street, and they did not want us there. I mean, it was we did go in, I don't know, it was like 45 minutes before close or something, which we usually would never do, but I don't like to do that, to hang people up there. But you know, we're on vacation, you know, we pulled the vacation card and we went ahead and went in, but the server was not too shy to make it obvious that she didn't want us there.
Another like group of people came in after us, and our server scoffed at us and said, "I'll bet they're gonna order food too."
I mean, what it is,
and we're supposed to be like, "Oh God!"
So people just come in and sit down, look, and then get up and leave.
Yeah.
Oh, look! I like these stickers. There's ketchup here.
But I will say that they did have the best coleslaw I've ever had. I don't know why. It's the best coleslaw.
Who goes to Margaritaville to eat?
Well,
I have. It's actually
we had margaritas
cheaper
too.
and get a better burger than inside the park. Because man, those things are like meat pucks. I don't know what they are.
Meat pucks.
You go in there to drink.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Hey, let's get back to rockets. I wanted to ask you, and I wasn't even realizing that you would be a person to ask until I looked at your Instagram, because last week we were talking about these shots, and I will show you because I know the stream has a delay, but like this shot right here, like you got one like it. This I love this one because you actually got the reentry burn in there too. Like is that a composite? I don't want to go too far. Like they're both in that same frame, right?
One image.
Oh, that is just incredible. Now,
no cropping.
No cropping.
No cropping.
Wow. Okay, so I want to
Flight Club.
I want to tell you how I was kind of trying to speculate how you did it. Well, I was like either like he's really good at using Flight Club, because I know Flight Club shows you the background stars, but I have a really hard time, looking at, because I'll take the screenshot and I'll send it to myself when I'm out there on the field. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm just having a hard time finding these particular stars. And so then I'm thinking, well, maybe what they're doing is like you zoom in real tight or, appropriately tight. And then when it's just about to get to Miko, when you know that the booster's going to peel off, you go ahead and, lock your tripod and then start a long exposure. No?
No. My camera didn't move the whole time.
Oh, man. I'm not worthy.
I purposely angled it at that location, and I set my trigger off, and I left it alone. And I did other stuff with my other camera.
So did you scout out a spot so that you would have the reentry burn in there with the booster, booster separation?
The reentry burn was bonus.
That was
I wasn't
lucky?
going for that at all.
Okay.
Yes.
It's just incredible, dude. Like that is, man.
You use one of those star charts on the phone?
No, I didn't.
Flight Club shows you the background stars, and it helps you line stuff up.
But that one you can move, and it uses the gyroscopes in the phone where you can point it.
Yeah, I don't use any of the stars. What I do is I use the azimuth, that it tells you, and then I also use the pitch.
Oh, you're getting
So it
like
tells you-
scientific. Okay.
Yeah, so it tells you you got to get a compass, and you angle your camera at that degree, and then you got to use some sort of angler, some angle way to measure the angle, and then you put it at that right pitch, and then once your camera's faced at the right angle and at the right degrees as far as the azimuth, then you're good to go. However, you use one phone and another phone, and the measurements are different.
Oh.
So it's not exact. Really difficult.
I have a telescope. I wonder if I'd be able to use the tripod for my telescope because it has all those, the degrees and the azimuths and all that stuff on there. I wonder if I'd be able to somehow rig my camera up on it. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to mount it to the telescope's tripod. But man,
this is actually my second attempt.
Oh, really?
My first attempt, it was off by a little bit, and you can see the separation right on the edge of the frame. But it wasn't something that I wanted to post.
Right. Yeah, that's incredible.
And I was zoomed in at 100 millimeter on my first attempt, and this time I was like, well, let me zoom out just a little bit more, just so I have a little bit of wiggle room in case I needed to crop or whatnot. And
it was just right.
Dead on in the middle.
And got the reentry burn. Oh man, this is so cool. So for anyone that's not aware, just in case, I kind of want to go through like what's here. So in the bottom left, obviously, you've got Falcon 9. All 9 engines are firing, and then right here, this kind of spear-looking spot. That's where the main engine cutoff is. So it like they shut down, and then they do kind of this little poof right at the end of that line. And then they separate. First stage flips around and then starts firing, and then second stage starts firing, and that's where all these clouds come in. And that was the cool. Did you get any of the nebula? No.
Nope.
I'm sure most of the people watching or listening would have probably seen the pictures of the nebula, but that's what's happening here. And then of course you've got first stage peeling off. This is the boost back burn, and it doesn't just stop in not midair, but mid space or anything. It and like go backwards. It peels like up, like to the zenith, and then of course second stage continues on, and first stage goes up, and then the part that's really cool about this line here is this is a reentry burn, but what they do is they start up one engine, and that's where you see the narrow part of the line here. And then when the line gets fatter, that's when the 2 more engines light up, outer engines. And then they don't all shut off at the same time. So the 2 outer engines shut off, and then the center engine shuts off. So yeah, man, bravo. This is so good. And
it was a great shot.
How long was the exposure?
Well, I knew I didn't have to start it right away, so I focused. I had 4 cameras out when I was shooting CRS-20.
Yeah.
So I was having issues with the Bluetooth on the other devices, so I went ahead. I triggered one, then I triggered the other one, and then I went back to my main 2 cameras, and I triggered the first one, and then this is the one where I knew I had more time. So then if you look at the post, I actually put how many seconds.
That's right. Yeah, you're always good about that. You always put in there. How do I scroll up? There's no like scroll bar here.
Can you have like a wheel on your mouse? You can.
I mean, it's got these up and down arrows, but I guess I've never installed the driver for this specific mouse. Oh wait, is this? No, that's not a scroll bar.
Try to go to the far right of that pop-up window and see if it gives you an option.
Yeah.
No, nothing. Okay.
There's nothing. Wait, maybe I can. No.
Instagram on the web browser is very basic. Like I don't think you can even post a photo.
No,
you can't.
You can't. I've heard Greg has a way. Greg figured out some way to post to Instagram from his computer, and he told me one time.
Mr. Tree.
Yeah, some kind of weird stuff.
He's got one of those wands.
Well, like Lightroom has a plugin where you can do it through Lightroom.
Oh, maybe
and
that's
there's
it.
a couple other ways to do it. So this was like 374 seconds, about 6 minutes.
So what, like, did you kind of have it in the back of your mind, like, I might get Reentry Burn, so I'm going to keep it running? Like, because you ran it, or you were just on bulb mode and you just hadn't shut it off yet?
I was in bulb mode, and I knew there wasn't a rush because it's only going to pick up light that came in front of the camera. So I didn't care how long it shot for.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't in a rush, and I didn't necessarily think I would get it, but I knew that there's a chance.
It's coming close.
I mean, who knew? So I was like, you know what, just let it go. I wasn't even focused on that. I was focused on my other camera body, because my other camera body, I actually broke up each phase into different shots.
Mm-hmm.
So I would turn on and off the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even focus or worry about that camera. But after the launch was done and I ran and turned off all my cameras and I saw this zoomed in shot, I mean, I didn't even care about the other shot.
Yeah.
This was the shot that I wanted.
Right.
And the crazy thing is this probably got the least amount of attention, because most people just, I guess, it doesn't have the foreground, it doesn't have the full launch. Photographers are the ones that go Google Gaga for that, because that's just insane.
It's tough. It's hard to do. I've only seen a couple people ever pull it off, man, and it makes me want to try it. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know. I think I would probably try what my previous assumption was, that you track it with a telephoto lens, and then right before Miko, lock it in and do that whole thing. I don't know if I'd trust myself to set it up with finding the azimuth and all that stuff.
Well, whenever there's another night launch or whatever these upcoming ones are, if we have an opportunity to shoot together, then we can try.
Okay. Yeah. Walk me through it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah. So cool. And you're right. Yeah. It's all your fellow photographers that are just like, oh man, that's just incredible. Oh yeah. I pulled this up because I just wanted to show it, because I haven't posted this yet. I will, but it's just that we were shooting Starlink, and so I got this shot of pad 41, which I really wish that there was an Atlas V there, but I saw.
Wow.
I looked at the. And I wish I could have stepped more to the left, but I would have been getting out of the press area, and I didn't want to get yelled at. But I saw on. I know everybody uses Photopills, but I have one. I can't remember what it's called. The photographers. Oh, it doesn't say. Let's help. Man, well.
Man, that sunrise was amazing.
It was so cool. Anyway, it's just another one of those apps that it based off where you're standing, it'll tell you where the sun's going to be, and I saw that the line went right through pad 41, and I'm like, ooh, that's going to be good. So whenever I got there yesterday morning, I was like, I got to step over here and try to get a good shot of pad 41, and that one turned out pretty good.
You took that picture?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Thanks.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't get there early enough for that.
Yeah, you got here right as I was like walking back, like towards the main press area. I was just over in the parking lot here, and I was walking back, and then I saw you. Okay, let's see what's going on. So, so I've got this tweet pulled up by SpaceX Fleet Updates. Let's see, yeah. So, of course, I Still Love You is coming back probably tonight. Gavin's saying. I don't know if it's even a good idea for anybody to go out there. I mean, I guess there's probably not many people out there. You can't go to Jetty Park. Oh, I'm still sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, you can't go to Jetty Park. I mean, I guess you could go over to Gators and stuff. So, maybe, I don't know. Is Kyle in the chat?
Yes.
I wonder if he's, thanks, Harry. Yeah, Kyle, hey, you going out? You going to go out and see the crew come back? And actually, is he talking about Of Course I Still Love You, or is he talking about the Fairing Catchers? Let me see. Oh, he was talking about Go Miss Tree. Okay. So yeah, they're due to come back tonight.
Did they actually catch him? I know they said that they retrieved him. Oh no, yeah, they retrieved him from the ocean. That's what I recall.
Right.
Yeah. No, they just haven't. They haven't really gotten that down with both of them yet.
They've only done what, 2 successful catches?
Yeah, it's tough, man. You know, it's just right. Yeah, it must be just harder than what they anticipated.
Let me see. I know Gavin likes to throw up that scoreboard thing before. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here it is. So Mystery has caught 3 faring halves, and Mischief hasn't caught any.
Okay.
Yeah. Bummer. And also, in similar news, rocket ship is making her way through the Panama Canal right now on the way over to Vandenberg, carrying a Delta Heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be jealous, but we have one of those coming up anyway. So at some point, what is it, like July?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not ready for Corona. Yeah, we're ready for Corona. So, the launch next week, the AEHF-6, is going on, and media is being allowed, sort of limited access. We're going to get to set remotes, but only a select few are going to be able to actually go out to the launch viewing area, and I don't even know where it is. I don't know which viewing area they're going to. But in case y'all are wondering, yes, as of right now, the launch is still on. What?
I'm surprised.
The window is like 2:30. I guess I should try to be exact since this will be the last show before that launch. Well, now you will see, if anyone's curious how to find the launch schedule, just Google launch schedule, and the first thing that pops up is Spaceflight Now.
Oh, Google's amazing.
Is it Launch Complex 41?
Yeah, it's launching from 41. Okay, so the window is 2:57 to 4:57, and it's a week from today, the 26th. So that's still going. I mean, things are changing like daily. We just found out a couple days ago that NASA's on, what do they call it, phase 3 or stage 3 or whatever, where like only essential personnel are allowed to be there. Everyone else has to work from home. For anyone that, if you're a space fan, you're probably worried about, or not worried, but you're concerned with what's going on the Space Coast with coronavirus. Just like, when there was a hurricane, I remember, when I was still living in Tennessee and Matthew was coming, I was concerned, what's going on at the pads and stuff, and are they going to be affected? So right now, Brevard County only has 3, so it's gone up 1 per day for the last 3 days.
But also, we're at the beginning. I mean, all of Florida only has like 400 and something.
432.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
We're just tiptoeing into this.
Yeah, well, not if you believe what Elon says, which he is not. Don't get your coronavirus advice from Elon. I respect him.
You may be right.
I want the Corona light.
He's being very optimistic about it, and he's a scientifically minded person. I saw some tweet. I didn't really have time to look into it, but he had some chart with some data, supposedly supporting his idea that we've actually got a pretty good handle on it, and the cases are going to start going down. Obviously, the cases will go up because testing is going to increase, and so they'll find, it's just there's people floating around that have it that just don't know.
Right.
But as of right now, operations are continuing, and actually NASA just invited media to apply for DM2, which is that's the Crew Dragon with Bob and Doug going up on Falcon 9. They're saying mid to late May.
Hopefully it'll all blow over by then.
Yeah.
If anything, that's going to bring out a lot of people.
Yeah, I wonder if they would postpone it just to prevent people from coming. Because some people might come, just regardless.
It is another piece of history.
Yeah, you're talking DM2. That's going to bring people from all over the world.
Literally
to
all over
Space
the
Coast.
world.
Literally.
Well, maybe not all over the world if the travel bans are still going.
True, but that's gonna draw a lot of people, man.
Mm-hmm. And I heard, I don't know if it was rumors or if there's actually some talk, in the government about like restricting interstate travel, because then you wouldn't be able to come here from anywhere but Florida. I don't know. This whole thing sucks. Everybody knows it. It's even if you don't have it or you're not like concerned about yourself. Like personally, I'm not really. I don't have elderly around me, but I'm still doing all the things. You know what I mean? Because
what are you talking about, elderly? You live in old people condos.
But I'm not. I don't like talk to them or anything.
Share air with them.
Right. Well, I have like one neighbor. That I do talk to her periodically. I talked to her the other day, and we kept our distance. And everybody just needs to be following the rules, even if you're like me, and I don't have any family around me, or anybody that I need that like I want to be close to, but I can't be close to. Washing my hands. Got a hold of some hand sanitizer. Got it in the car. Just constantly.
Don't give it to Brad, because then he'll give it to me at work.
Well. I mean, that's how it works, right? I mean, you give it to the people that you live with. I mean, if I get it, I assume that we both need to quarantine, me and him. But also, if I got it, if I knew that I had it and I got tested and I was positive, then he would have the ability to go and get tested. Because that's one of the things is if you know that you've had contact with someone that has it, then even if you're not showing signs, that's enough to be able to get you a test.
Yeah. Close quarters, probably good odds.
Yeah. I mean, we've sat on the same couch and watched TV. It's close enough. For those concerned, some of the measures that they're taking is they've not closed the beaches. They've closed the parking for the beaches. Actually, I've got oh, wait. Oh, well, right here is I'll talk about that in a second.
I haven't been down there since they did. Did they put anything in the parking spots, or just if you park there, you're getting a ticket?
Well, guess what? Somebody got a picture.
There's some. Oh, you have a picture?
Okay, there we go.
Yep, they've just blocked off all the public or all the parking for the beach access. Now,
yeah, I need to buy stocks and Bob's barricades.
Yeah.
You can buy stocks and cruise lines.
I've done that.
I did.
Yeah.
I got them all.
Yeah, I need to buy more. I've only got like 6 shares of Carnival.
It's like less than $10 now.
Yep. Yeah. Like a fool, I bought it at like $18. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna make money, and then it just kept going down. But now I bought some more at $10.
I don't know what I'm doing after the show.
Do what?
So I don't know what I'm doing after the show.
Yeah. Well, the market's closed, so you can't buy any right now, but you can schedule it, I think, to buy in the morning. But oddly enough, the Cocoa Beach Pier parking lot was quite full.
Oh,
so they're still allowing parking there, which is pretty surprising. But
if they're still open, they want money. That's owned by a big.
Yeah. Well, I mean, restaurants are allowed to be open. That's another one of the things is like restaurants are open, but they have to go to half capacity. Basically, they have to shut down every other table.
Yeah, we went to Beef O'Brady's tonight, and that's what they did.
Right. Yeah. They're just trying to keep people separated. In fact, I went to Rock the Guac tonight, and this group of like, I don't know, it was like 6 people. They came in, and the guy that was making my burrito, he's like, hey, just so y'all know, if y'all were wanting to eat in here, you can't sit together. We can only have up to 4 people at one table, so you'd have to just split up. It's fine, but that's just the rule we're going by right now. And the bars, I think they forced the bars to close at 5 on St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yeah.
So are they open back up now? Do y'all remember?
Bars? I don't think so. It's restaurants if it's not more than 50% of liquor sales.
Oh, okay.
Or some.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I saw something where it's like if the alcohol is consumed on premises, then you have to close. Maybe it's a certain amount, but
it's a certain amount because I mean they were selling. People Brady was selling beer. There was people sitting in the bar. and they have liquor. But I think it's the sales of food versus liquor.
Yeah, it's kind of like smoking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, some bars you can still do that.
Mm. They have this tent now set up at the ER.
Oh yeah,
I delivered there today. Where the ambulances usually park and let people out to go into the ER. Where
spot.
Yeah. Sorry, people that don't know this. This is the Cape Canaveral Hospital. You don't really know the layout, but I don't know if you care. But yeah, they have this tent set up out there, and it's like a screening tent. I actually talked to the doctor. I don't think I've ever had this happen before, but it was actually the doctor that came out to get the pizza.
Wow.
And I was like, "Hey, you're a doctor. Hey, can you tell me anything? Like, are we getting tests? I said, I heard that they were gonna make all restaurant employees get tested, and he's like kind of like shook his head, like that's not even possible. Like we don't, yeah, exactly. We don't have enough tests. I was like, well, I said, is there any hope of like when are we gonna have enough tests? Is there gonna be some point where there's all of a sudden there's gonna be enough tests to test everybody? And he's like, yeah, eventually. I was like, what are we talking, like summer? He's like, well, I'm hoping like a month or two. So, month or two, maybe we'll be able to get tested.
There's some kind of sort of cure going around, or
yeah, the malaria thing.
Yeah,
it's not a cure. I don't think it's
eases the symptoms or something.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So if it won't be severe, so maybe you won't die.
Yeah, it's not a vaccine thing, right?
No.
Because it's a medicine that they give you if you get malaria, right?
Yeah.
Not to prevent malaria. I don't even know if there is a thing to prevent malaria. Yeah.
Was getting tested even like?
Is it not even? Wait, hold on. Sorry. Harry said, meanwhile in Australia, we're like, what? It's not in Australia?
Yeah, is it not?
Sorry. Yeah, it is, because that's how Tom Hanks got it.
That's right.
Oh, all right.
Woody got COVID in Australia, and then Buzz sent him a wonderful message wishing him to get well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, what about y'all? Y'all got any wild and crazy Corona stories? I drank Corona Light last night. I was trying to build up a tolerance, You start with Corona Light and then, and then you move to Corona Extra, and then like maybe Corona Premier, right? What's after that? And you throw that lime in there and then you're all good.
A Corona joke.
Yeah. Got a much better response last night. No? Nobody? Right. Corona?
No. Nope.
Yeah.
I got that picture.
Seen anybody cough?
I think everyone's tired of talking about and hearing about the coronavirus. And it's like everywhere.
It's true. It's like all I think about, because I deal with customers, I have, and I'm like going to people's houses and stuff. So it's like by the end of every day, I'm like mentally exhausted, trying to keep track of when the last time was I touched something, or when did I sanitize, and my steering wheel and my gear shifter and my door handles and everything, man.
Don't touch your face.
Yeah, don't touch your face. I mean, I'll touch what? Uh-oh. Somebody coughed.
No, seriously.
I've got a system, like, because sometimes you have a need to touch your face. So I'll go and I'll wash my hands, and then I'll do, you got to clean out your eyes, and you scratch your ears or pick your nose or whatever, and then and then wash hands again. Right? That's safe, right? Isn't that okay?
It's supposed to sting happy.
He's like shaking his head. He's like, man, you're just not supposed to touch your face. How long can we go without touching our face? I mean, you gotta clean yourself up, right?
Oh yeah, it's like impossible.
Yeah.
When you actually think about it, then you realize you actually touch your face a whole lot more than you thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've gotten okay. Like I think I'm with it enough to not touch my face most of the time. Like I don't. It hasn't really been that big of an issue, I don't think. Maybe I'm touching my face more than I realize, but I'm pretty good there, but every once in a while you have to, and so wash your hands first and then wash your hands after, and do the 20 seconds. Man, I'm seeing too many people not even getting close, doing like 5 seconds,
Well,
6
you hanging out in the bathrooms and watching people?
I work in a place where hand washing goes on a lot. Like, they do wash their hands, but I just know it's not long enough.
All right, I was just checking on you there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that's Corona talk. Welcome to Corona talk.
I'm really surprised that the governor tells restaurants half capacity, closing down bars, but rocket launch, they're like, keep it going. It's going to bring crowds. Because especially now that people are really bored. Because you can't go to Disney, you can't go to Universal, you can't go to SeaWorld.
Yeah, well,
let's rocket launch. Let's all go crowd around the side of the road.
Why Linda Beach got closed?
Right.
Yeah.
During the launch, only during the launch.
Well, now you're even limited places to go, so everyone's going to cram up even more on the side of the roads.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the thought is that, like, because you can see the launch from anywhere for miles, that even if there are a bunch of people watching, you don't have to be shoulder to shoulder. You can still
but you're
keep your
limiting
distance.
places for people to go.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, now they can't spread out as much. So the people that come in, they're, like I said, they're going to pile up down 528 or down US 1.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Patricia Williams here asking the question. She wants to know where she can find the launch schedule. Well, there's next space flight. If you go over to...
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Spaceflight Now, I think it is.
Yeah, that's the website I usually go to.
Yeah, Spaceflight Now, or you can go over to Next Horizon Spaceflight. We keep you up to date on all the launches, and it's tied into Pressing for Flight page as well. So if you're getting updates from Next Horizon,
Space Coast launches, we pretty much go. Not all.
Yeah.
Not all launches, but mostly the Americans is what we pretty much cover.
Yeah.
And the only reason why is because we've seen the data and seen the interactions, and just foreign launches just don't do as well. People, I don't know why. People just don't seem to care about foreign launches.
And we have no capacity to cover them, really.
Right. Exactly.
We can't, we can't even go over to Vandenberg. Like, I've never been out to California. We're hoping to go up to Wallops.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you use Facebook, we do event. We do an event for each Space Coast launch anyway, and then we post updates there. But just generally speaking, like I did earlier, and let's see, I think I've still got the page pulled up. But if you just Google launch schedule, just those two words, and I don't know if it's because Google knows what I'm looking for that it comes up first, but I just Google launch schedule, and then spaceflightnow.com is the top thing. But there's other apps that, like you mentioned, Next Spaceflight.
Mm-hmm.
That's an app, right?
Yeah, it's an app, but it's great though, man. Michael Baylor does a great job with it.
Nah, if you type launch schedule, even on mine, the first one that pops up is Spaceflight Now.
Okay, yeah. It should be. So I would just Google launch schedule, and then that'll get you there. Let's see. Is there anything else? Are you gonna cover AEHF 6? Michael, are you gonna come out for that?
I have to reach out to 45th Space Wing, but I am credentialed.
Yeah.
Of the 3 launches they do a year, that's not NASA sponsored.
Yeah.
I should be able to set up remote. So I've already got the time off, and just hoping to get out there. I have 3 cameras ready to go, so I'm excited.
You gonna lay 3 cameras at the pad?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do 2. I have 3, but I always gotta have one in my hand. But
yeah, I'll still have one in my hand too, so I'm excited.
Yeah, and if any of y'all out there, if you saw the time lapse that I did on from leading up to the Starlink launch that got scrubbed, I don't know if I can quickly pull this up, but I did a time lapse from 39A. It didn't include the launch, but oh yeah, here we go. It's this right here. So it's on my camera slider, and I did it again for the second attempt, and the slider died, the camera died. I don't know why. I kind of expect the slider to die, eventually, like preferably once it's done shooting, but for some reason both died. So that's why I only ended up with one remote shot.
I love
not that anybody cares.
the shadows on the building as the sun went over it, and it just kind of and then with the motion going in the same direction, it was great, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I can't say that like I was expecting. Like it kind of looks like a curtain going up. I don't remember who said that. Oh, I think my buddy Todd back in Tennessee. I showed it to him. He's like, "Yeah, man, it's like the curtains being raised on the SpaceX logo." Yeah, I can't say that I expected it, but it's just with time lapse, you almost never know exactly what it's going to look like when it's over, and that's one of the cool things about it is, you just do it, and especially ones that run for a long time, because then you get to see shadows moving. Sometimes it's just
leave their cars there during the launch.
Oh, I doubt that. Surely not. But yeah, is there anything else anybody wants to bring up that I have forgotten about? Anybody in chat have any questions or blame the MyOps? Yeah. No, the MyOps was still working.
That still had power.
Yeah, it still had power. It was telling the camera to fire. The camera just refused to do it.
It's hard when it's dead.
Yeah.
Shoot. My fan was still running.
I have a question, Steve.
Yeah.
So let's say the launch gets scrubbed and the media is invited to go back to reset the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do about your trigger? You don't have spare batteries for the triggers, do you?
No. You can get them. It's like a
yeah, it looks like an old cell phone battery.
Yeah, it's like a Nokia battery or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it opens up, but how would you charge it without another MyOps?
Yeah, you can't.
Charge it pre-hand.
But
at home.
I mean,
okay.
Charge it.
That's a good idea, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they should be able to go a couple days.
Yeah.
Typically. If you're on the right firmware version or whatever, they should be able to go a couple days. I know the Vila Pops, which you can't order anymore. So if you don't have one, you're not getting one unless you find someone that wants to sell the one they have. But they run on like the bigger watch battery type, the little disc batteries,
okay.
and those. I think I've done 3 launches on one battery. And I asked Nathan Barker about it. What's the longest he's gone on a battery? Because it doesn't give you any kind of an indicator of
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, but I think he said he usually goes like 3 or 4 launches and then just replaces the battery. Like you don't want to.
You don't want to take that chance.
Yeah, but you don't want to waste batteries either. You don't want to, buy extra. Because that's if you do one for each individual launch, then you're spending way too much on batteries. I would go with I think 2 days. I think the MyOps should be fine because I've had mine out for 2 attempts and they still work.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I think maybe even there was a Starlink launch that was it went like we did like 2 or 3 resets. What? What'd you say, man?
Touching your face.
Oh, I am.
You're touching your face.
Well, you watched your hands.
Yeah, I watched. Yeah, I watched. And I mean, I think in your house it's a little bit different, right? Is it? Am I totally wrong about that? Like I've washed my hands probably 4 times since I've been home.
COVID is everywhere.
Man, you're right. It's something about like when you're trying to figure something out, you're like, let me just touch all over my face. All right. Well, is that it? I think that's it. Anybody in chat? You got one last chance to say anything. I see an LOL. I see, yeah, good idea. Does it affect your entry? I'm not sure. Oh, KSC shut down. Well, yeah, you can't just go in there any old time. They are still allowing media, but I think we already talked about that. All right. Well, anybody want to play us out like Mr. Keagle? Thanks everybody in chat for being here and playing along. Follow everybody. Follow Michael, y'all. He's a great photographer. Everything he puts out is just brilliant. He's on Twitter, MD Cain Jr., and I think it's the same on Instagram, right?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Well, I just want to say thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been a long time coming, and
looking forward to catching up with you guys again on the next launch.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
All right, we'll do it again, bro. We'll give it a few months. I'm gonna start having like repeat customers.
Sounds good.
We'll have you come back. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming.
Shutdown sequence initiated. Shutting down.